Agatha-fition.
Agatha-action. Down, down, down the toilet. The MCU goes. No, we like this show.
Yeah, everyone's already clicked out.
Yeah. I had to make the joke at least, yeah, but just us. JJ's not into the MCU.
He doesn't really
Marvel
seem to be.
stuff. He was hyped for Deadpool Wolverine, but it didn't seem like that jump-started his care for the rest of
he's like,
the universe. I'm good. Welcome back. Coming this summer, we're talking Agatha All Along, renamed about 4 or 5 times.
But that was
this
the
show.
joke.
That was the bit, because it was Agatha All Along.
All along.
I think the real name is just Agatha, but it's like the bit name.
Got to keep it.
Got to keep it out, Agatha All Along. SEO, you know, it'd be really stupid to not name it that, but
True.
we're not talking about, you know.
We're not doing SEO.
SEO talk. SEO,
Why Agatha was
SEO
successful.
Cast. No. Well, multiple reasons.
On Google.
Yeah.
So I remember the last one we did was what, the first 2 episodes?
We did the first 2. We did the premiere. And then we were like, got hit by 17 hurricanes.
That's right.
Which kind of impacted my opinion about this because I couldn't follow it week to week, but I'm going to try and do the review aside from that.
I definitely caught it in clumps because of the hurricane.
Clumps. Mr. Clumps. Professor Clumps.
But I would say overall, I mean, it definitely got way better. The first episode was not good for the tone.
I did like them coming back to the first episode when she's out of the illusion.
Visiting it from the other
which
side
was really funny.
Was great.
Yeah, but it wasn't good. The first episode is definitely the weakest of
for
this
sure.
entire series.
20+ minutes of stuff we didn't really need.
Episode 7 is probably the strongest. I think everybody on the internet
it felt
can agree.
very Game of Thrones-y as
it
far
did.
as giving everything and then giving you like a wrap-up episode.
An epilogue, almost at the end.
You remember like when Game of Thrones was like peaking? It would be like crazy episode, and then next week's the season finale. And be like, there's still more?
Yeah, there's more. Yeah, I think this show had a lot of time to actually deliver on a good show. Like the problem with most MCU shows is it's like good start, kind of wheel spinning, and then the finale kind of drops the ball.
Well, like it gets real good in the middle end.
Yeah.
Like
Like
they'll have
the
a
back
couple
half of the middle.
And then by the last episode, the wheels are back off.
The wheels are off. Yeah. And this one I think did stick the landing. It didn't do it for me personally, but I can recognize
The difference, I don't know if you noticed, this one really truly bounced episode times.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, we're going to do 40 on the first episode and then it's 24 the rest of the way.
Right.
Like the last couple episodes were like 45 minutes.
30, 40 minutes. I think the last one was like 35, 39.
Okay. The one before was like 40 something for sure.
It was long
That's
because they had to get it all in. They weren't like, let's cut it.
Yeah, because you could have edited it all down and gave it like one more episode too.
Yeah.
Which I really feel like they should have started it a week earlier and had it.
A 2-episode finale.
I don't think you needed
Halloween
a 2-episode finale.
Yeah,
because it was so different.
Sure.
Like, and they were 40-minute long episodes. You could have really.
Yeah. Episode 9 could have released the weekend after or the week after Halloween.
I think that should have been that episode started a week earlier, and then that should have been the finale on Halloween Eve or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they did the whole Witches Road thing and the whole spoiler, like.
Yeah. No, the show was good. Catherine Hahn, great.
Yeah.
Great. Not as good as she was in WandaVision, I think.
No, it's weird. I think the writing was not as good overall. Like it was fine, and I still feel like
the dialogues are weird.
The dialogue is what I mean.
And borderline cringy.
See, and I don't want people to go, oh, they hate it, because I didn't hate it. I actually thought it was on the better half of MCU shows, and I feel like the death of the MCU has been greatly exaggerated for a while, and this is just like another pretty good show.
Another chapter. You know,
right?
Yeah.
Better than anything Sony or Warner Brothers has done with their comic book stuff.
No, and I care about what happens, like what's going to happen in Vision Quest, but I don't care how it's going to impact the greater multiverse of the MCU, because it's like kind of isolated.
And bringing Wanda's kids back the way they did, and like you're saying, like this was like one of those living up to the promises of you don't have to necessarily watch it.
No. You don't have to watch all of the MCU.
Some back.
Yeah.
Because when they add Tommy and Billy to whatever movie.
Sure. Young Avengers.
Right.
Let's say.
Or whatever. And you want to see a backstory, then you go watch Agatha All Along.
And WandaVision.
But this doesn't influence anything. This is like one of those true kind of like it's in its own MCU world, which I like.
Okay, spoilers for the whole show. The teen, Joe Locke, is actually Wanda's son, which we all knew. And people are like, you're wrong. It's Agatha's kid. And it's like, shut the fuck up.
No, clearly it's not.
Why would it be?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be? Wanda's kid because that's clearly the direction they're going, and he looks like Wiccan from the comic book. So,
Yeah.
you know, but like I have no idea where I was going with that, so you go ahead.
You were talking about introducing them, which is cool. That's what I'm saying. Like it didn't feel like She-Hulk where they had to give us Hulkling.
What I was saying is I don't care about Wiccan and him showing up in like, let's say, Doomsday or Secret Wars and like having a big role, you know, like
right.
Because he'll just be isolated, like in this kind of WandaVision
Well, it sets
trilogy.
up like a good. He's gonna fight his mom initially at first until they don't. You know, like you already know how I think that's gonna go.
I don't know. Wiccan in the comics like rewrites all the laws of like magic.
Okay.
And he's like the strongest magic user in the comic world.
One of my biggest complaints of this show is I didn't like his intro as Wiccan. Not like the on the road where he blows them. That's fine.
That's cool.
I'm talking about when he comes.
The costume. What the fuck?
It was bad.
What?
It looks like we 3D printed his headpiece 30 minutes before he had to. Ryan, are you spraying? I'm getting it painted. Did you get the metallic stuff? I got the metallic stuff. Yeah. It just looks. It's
bad. It's comic accurate as fuck.
Right, but
it's not good.
It's not good.
No, and it's supposed to be like, oh, remember when he dressed up like that for Halloween? Like he's kind of basing it off of that.
What is he, Peter Parker? He just busts out his suit.
Well, he's magic.
No, that's true. But
that's what conjures up a suit.
That's what he conjures. You know what I mean? Like, come on. And I get because it's Halloween and it's a Halloween show, and it's supposed to be in that vein, almost like let's hocus pocus it up.
It did feel very hocus pocusy at the end because everyone's in costumes and they're using magic and all that shit. But yeah, I enjoyed this show.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, and the end wasn't a gigantic mecha CGI. Godzilla
there was
fight.
A couple like blasty blasts, like beam battles maybe, but not as much as they could have.
Super exposition heavy. It was like, let me knock you down and talk to you for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like Dragon Ball, right?
It's One Piece. Yeah, we're gonna talk, even though this fight has only lasted 5 minutes. We're gonna have an 8-minute conversation in the episode.
One punch. How could you hit me? Because and then
yeah.
But I like that. It wasn't like Kaiju City, like Moon Knight, which was like, this is pretty good. What is happening? Why are they knocking the pyramids over?
That big alligator's fighting that big bird. What? And no one's talked about that. Yeah.
I'm going to give this a pretty high score, I think.
Wow, really?
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Oh, wow. Jesus. I'm not that high. I don't think I'm that high at all.
Maybe that's why you're not giving it a high score.
Because I'm not that high. No, I like Wiccan. I like that we finally got there. I needed a Speed. I needed a Tommy to show up at that end fight.
Yeah, that's another complaint. I don't, and I know that the creator said that it was like the Feigs call to not have any after credits and stuff because I guess they don't like the pushback and people going, you haven't resolved the thing already. Why haven't you finished that plot line?
Why introduce new
You're putting too much stuff out, but finish the stuff too. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I needed just like
maybe waking up in the pool.
Maybe we cut back to the pool and you just see like a whoosh.
The parents are doing like CPR. He wakes up and runs.
Yeah. And then he like blurs away.
Right.
Like he flashes away. Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah, and he goes, Billy.
But again, you wouldn't even have to show his face. If they're worried about not having the actor side it.
Or just make anybody do the voice, too. That's true. Have him say, Billy, wake up, and then whoosh off.
You wake him up, and you film it from his perspective with the parents over top of him. He gets up and runs, and then you film him from the back as he runs away, and then problem solved. You don't have to have an actor locked into place.
I think the back half of this definitely brought my score up a lot. Because the episode 7 with all the time travel, like weird, like brain shit that Lilia's having.
6. That was 6. The swords one?
Yeah.
That was 6.
Was it?
Yeah, because the next one is when they get out on the road and then Death gives the big speech to Agatha about how.
But there was 9 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
it's 7.
8. Yeah, I'm thinking 8.
Because 8 is like the last trial, right? And then that trial was really good when they're like in that room and they all have to like figure out. Like didn't like the. Who's the black chick with the bald head?
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
I don't remember her name.
No.
I hated her.
Was it Jen?
I hated her character. Jen. I hated her character. I'm like, I didn't like her at all.
Was
I didn't like any of the other witches.
I liked the one that could slip in and out of time.
That was cool. She was fun.
She
reminded me of Hocus Pocus character. But like Alice, the like pop star daughter, I'm like, she was
Yeah,
Like
they
just
were
a
very
blah, nothing. Yeah, kind of character.
And they totally didn't. They killed off what's her name from that '70s show and never brought her back. They teased that they were bringing her back. You haven't seen the last of me? Yeah, we did. We saw the last
we did.
of you. You
died. You died on the Witch's Road. Cool. Thanks, Wiccan. You killed Kitty. Fucking asshole.
You killed Kitty.
You killed Kitty. Yeah. No, that last trial episode did it for me.
The last two.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time skipping one. The last two felt Doctor Who-ish. Even that Trials were in the room with the lights. I'm like, man, I feel like I've watched.
Very cool. Because everything else we've had like this theme thing, and they get thrown
sci-fi.
in there, and there's no like outfit change or like nothing. You're like, okay, this is the last trial.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So, and then the epilogue episode was really good. So I'm like 6-8 probably, which seems low, but I don't know. I can respect the show did well, but it didn't do it for me.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. We don't ever get enough time with these shows.
That's the problem. One,
this is the most time we've gotten with a show.
I think to me it stands out better because it's holiday themed. If this would have just been like Agatha all along in March, I think it would take away a lot of the fun and because then the cringy parts would have come across way more cringier.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you're like, it's March 18th.
That's what I mean about not liking the other witches. Is like their dialogue together was just not
good.
Not good at all. But them calling teen, they're like, oh, you used his full name when they're like teenager.
Yeah.
You know?
There was funny.
There was funny beats, but all of them should have been like that funny. Or like, they should have leaned into the cringe because then you'd be like, but they're like self-aware of it, maybe, but they're not.
This felt like another like, hey, I'm a huge James Gunn fan. Yeah. So I'm going to just...
Joke.
Oh, did they die? Well, let me just add a little joke.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of those 10 jokes hits.
Right.
Yeah.
Right after a scene of like somebody dying, everybody's sad, and they're going around like, and then someone's got to get a joke in over a dead body, and you're like, do you need it? But you're right. I'm looking forward now to
Vision Quest.
I think that'll be Paul Bettany's a great actor. That'll be good, but I don't know where that's going. But no, I mean like I'm looking forward to the rest of what we got next year. I think we're on the right track.
We're on a good path.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. No Blade sucks, but what are you gonna do, right? Yeah. Agatha all along. Go watch it or don't because Halloween's over and you really can't now. So.
Next year, watch it next year.
Yeah, wait. You gotta wait a year if you missed it.
It's trending still. It's like everyone's putting it over.
Yeah, and them overusing the Witch's Road song. It's not a good song.
People are like, oh, it's stuck in my head. Oh, it's the Frozen people. Like, it's not.
It's not a good song.
Like, they created an okay song, and they're like, you're going to like it.
Down the Witch's Road, down the Witch's Road.
We're going to play it over and over and over.
Down the road, down the Witch's Road. Genius. No.
Frozen 3 is going to be great.
It's 4 words in total, and they're just repeating
Well, they have those other lines that I can't remember.
Can't remember, right? Yeah, those other great classic lines. Yeah, I could sing Let It Go word for word right now. Here I go.
See, my problem is with multiverse is once you introduce it,
and No Way Home,
you're kind of screwed though, because now you have this infinite. Now you're in the comic world, and now
there's
you're
no
screwed.
stakes.
Right? Right. It becomes Dragon Ball.
Like
I'm just
Iron
gonna wish
Man.
the people back.
Yeah, Iron Man dies, but it's like, well, he's coming back as like Doom. So
he's gonna look